luck, buddy. We are live. All right. How we doing today, folks? We are live at BlizzCon 2019. Diablo 4 has been revealed. Years we've spent waiting, speculating, theorizing, conspiracy theorizing, more than anything. And after a tumultuous couple of weeks of intense and enormous leaks, finally we are here today with a playable demo right in front of us, right now. And a very familiar sight. A few characters around a campfire. Oh man, oh man, oh man, the nostalgia. I have not played this demo. I wanted to wait. I wanted to wait to experience this for the first time with all you folks. I had to resist playing this demo throughout the entire day so that we can all experience this right now, live together, right now. And is stream still working right now? Can you hear us? I think you can hear us. All right, fantastic. So, right away, we got this screen here. The character select, it pays homage to Diablo 2. A few characters around a campfire. We don't need any text. We know exactly who all these people are. You got your Barbarian archetype, your Sorc archetype, your Druid. They're all back. They're all around this campfire. Who, chat? Shout out in chat. Who do we start with? We're going to get to try out all three classes, but who do we start with? Flood chat. Well, I guess you can't flood chat. Chat's in slow mode, I believe. Okay, I'm seeing Sorc, I'm seeing Druid, Sorc, Druid. Okay, we'll start with Druid. We've been waiting for a Druid in Diablo 3 for the longest time. We haven't played a Druid in a very long time. We're going to start with Druid. We'll get to play all of them, though. Don't worry. Character customization. So, this is what they have for now, but they intend to have more options as well. I like the beard on this guy. This is the OP beard character. We're going with this. We're going to hit play right now. Oh, man. It all comes down to this.
No turning back now.
Oh, man. Okay. Take it in, folks. Take it in. This is our first look into things. The dark feeling. The dark aesthetic. Even the UI seems a little more reminiscent of Diablo 2. Look at that. We got our good boys here standing around. They're coming. What is this big old bell? Big old bell. Okay. Trample. Hold on. First off, inventory menu. Oh, we can even rotate our character there. Oh, we're a big boy. We are a big boy ourselves. The potion system is still in flux, in the works. The UI equipment slots here. Vigorous helm. What if we take that off? What happens? Cool. Cool. Put that back on. If we take this off, it only takes up one slot. Look at that. No more inventory Tetris. Look at the tattoos, the runic markings. I love the direction they have taken with this Druid. It does not feel like a WoW Druid. It feels more grounded in reality. Ancient Celtic. Braveheart. The gloves. Look at that. The pants. Okay, thank God he's got the undies on. The boots. Wait, do we want to see him fully nude? Okay, he's got a loincloth. We're good. We don't have to turn this stream into PG-13. All right. The rings and the Savage Mythical Staff. All right. Yes, this is best BlizzCon ever. Is mic quality good? No shoulder slot. That's true. No shoulder slot. That's interesting. Good notice. No release date. The only thing we know is not soon, not even Blizzard soon. Little tier there at not even Blizzard soon. Level 20. Max level currently is 40. That is still in flux, though. But as of right now, not just in the demo, but in general, it sounds like 40 is going to be the max level. That intro cinematic, oh my God, guys. It was beyond my wildest expectations. I've got a video coming up. I was actually working on this right before this. A video coming up on my impressions so far from the reveal trailer. I thought I would have the video up before this stream, so it's going to be a little bit odd seeing it come up after, but I don't know what I was expecting from D4, but that cinematic trailer blew me away. It was beyond my wildest expectations of how dark they went. I did not think Blizzard would go that dark. It was like a horror movie. It was amazing. Oh my god. I have zero doubts. Like, aesthetically, the feel, the darkness, I have zero doubts that they have perfectly nailed this. Perfectly. Gameplay, we'll find out. But at least the darkness, embrace the darkness, they're fully there. Fully there. All right. Our skills here. So, we got different skills, skill points. You can upgrade your skills. And then there's also talents. I'm not in love with the UI, but the UI is something that can easily be finagled. It's clean. It's clean. I'll give you that. It's clean. And familiar skill trees. I know people were clamoring for skill trees. So we got skill trees coming back in the form of talents here. And you can upgrade different runes. And did you already find a stone of Jordan? We got SVR to my left over here. And maybe we'll find him in game. Let's see. Oh, that feels so good. The instant transformation into the shape-shifting form. It's so smooth and seamless. Instantly into that werewolf form. And look how dark and menacing that looks. Our good boys are doing their work. Okay, so that's Shred is a shape-shifting power. Pulverize is also, and we become a bear. Unleash your inner bear. All right. So we have a resource system here. This is a generator, and this is a spender. Look at that. All right. We got a wolf attack. Wolves. Passive is summons them. Active is to direct them. Okay, so that's similar to the Necromancer ability, it seems like. So we can actively direct them to a specific target.
That must be it.
Old chieftains. Can we zoom? No, okay. There is not going to be offline single player. It's going to be an online experience. They're leaning into certain MMO elements. There's going to be 5 major overworld areas that are going to be 10 to 20 times larger than the largest areas in D3. And there will be town hubs to meet and trade. There's going to be trading. There's going to be PvP. And open world boss events. All right, let's go through here. The drums are picking up. So there's so much noise going around, I don't quite hear all the audio. But, oh, well, okay. I'm guessing drop rates are a little overtuned for the demo. The Riding Band. So sets will be in the game, but they really want legendaries to be as powerful or more powerful than sets. They don't want the endgame itemization to be sets. They really want to allow for more variety, more customization. Hit effect. Your attacks have up to a 9% chance to spawn a Hydra that will aid you in combat. Well, let's get rid of our malicious ring here and see what Hydras we can get. Thank you. All right, we're going to lower game volume a little bit. Increase our volume a tad. All right. Let me know if the game is too soft now. Legendaries in the demo are scripted for each character. Cool. Is falling debris. Alright. And then our 1 is a trample. Okay. So it's cooldowns plus resource costs. That's a boulder toss. Nice. Nice. The blood, the viscera. The game sound is still too loud? A little bit too loud? Okay, we can lower it a bit more. Lower that a bit more. Okay, there we go. There we go. And then our Cataclysm, oh boy. We're summoning the forces of nature. They really wanted the magical side of the Druid to be an elemental Druid. Not an elemental Druid. They wanted to differentiate it from the Elementalist Sorcerer. So it's more earth magic, summoning storms and lightning, not so much the fire and brimstone, as we saw in D2, and I like that, because I found in D2, the Druid's magic was a little bit redundant with the Sorks with regards to, well, oh man. So this to me feels like the true successor, the true Diablo 3. Look at that. Look at that. Oh yeah, different vibe this BlizzCon. This was a tremendous BlizzCon. Best BlizzCon ever. Best BlizzCon ever. Oh yeah. Let's open the map. Okay, so we were in a dungeon right there. But now that we're in the open world, we're going to see how big. Take in this desolate, it's a medieval apocalyptic wasteland. The world has gone to hell. Tab to open the... Whoa, look at that. Look at that. Wow. So, it's no secret that I'm not a fan of MMOs. And I was a little, the idea of running into other people randomly out of the open world wasn't an idea that excited me. However, it's going to come down to implementation. So I'm open to being sold on the idea because there's so much else that they're doing that I like. So the weather effects are dynamic. There's a day-night cycle. Apparently the Druid has the power to alter the weather. Spacebar to evade, yes. So every character has this sort of dash forward ability. There will be a video later today, yes. So, Loch Wraith. I love that they've leaned into the Norse, sorry, not the Norse, the Celtic mythos. Awesome. Okay. Can I use this as, yeah, that works as a speeder-upper.
I have the lantern, but the family crypts have collapsed.
So they never said anything about, they never used the term MMO. They never once said MMO at all, but we're sort of gleaning that they're, well, okay, we don't know if it's MMO. We don't know how massive the scope of the multiplayer open world will be. There's no game sound at all, so we need... Okay, so a little louder. Dodge while casting, okay.
Calm yourself. Is this what you saw?
He's never said that before.
Kind of like that. Yeah, no hint at a release date. All they said was not even Blizzard soon. All right, let's go. Let's go dig into it. Oh, who dis? That's not him. Look, so these are other people. That guy's name is Deckard Cain. What? Hi. Hello. Is it saying time to...
Oh, you just got one shot! Holy shit, man! Not even balanced!
Alright, let's go heed the call of the deep. Doesn't this look like a D3 rehash? In what way? I mean, ARPGs look similar. I don't see how this looks like D3. I don't think they said anything about a beta date either. Oh, there's some taps right there. Have we learned how to mount yet? No. Okay. No news on a D2 remaster, but honestly, like, D4 is paying such homage to D2. All right, let's follow these guys. Is this some kind of... Okay, it's a zone where we can do things. What does not even Blizzard soon mean? So Blizzard has a meme of soon TM, which means not soon. So now they're saying not even Blizzard soon means they're not even going to pretend to say soon, so don't count on it. Event is nearby.
Yeah, I'll show you. It's like, that's actually...
Is this the event?
This is my first time seeing the game, by the way. Yeah. I already played for it.
Fight the world boss. Okay, hold on. Where's the world boss? Okay, it's here. He's spawning. He a big boy. Oh, look at this. Wait, is anyone gonna come help us? We can handle it on our own. We're good. We can clearly solo the world boss. No, wait, that can't be him. That can't possibly be him. Oh, we gotta destroy the bell. For whom the bell tolls. Okay, bell boy down. So this was just like some random world event that we've run into, it seems. Oh, we have a limited number of potions. Look at that. All right. These guys are a little tougher. Just a tad. We're picking up health potions. Okay, so it seems similar, a little bit like D2 in that sense, except you don't have to manage the inventory slots of the belt. Okay, so we completed the event, so we were able to solo that. Now we know that there's going to be bosses, open world bosses that are not soloable. Things will get difficult. East and South on Quinn's stream had a goblin. Ooh.
Not expecting anything and then you die.
All right, let's just quickly check. We got any item upgrades here? Nope. Yes. Take that. Take that. Nope. Yes. Yes.
F's in the chat.
I'm surprised they even have the itemization in. So when they had the Diablo Immortal demo, like D4 is feels further along than Diablo Immortal was last year. They didn't have items to show. Is it confirmed the world bosses are not soloable? They said that there would at least be some content that's going to be so super difficult. I know that there's some boss in the demo that they even suggested that you're just going to die. Like, doesn't matter how many people you are, you're going to die. They want to have difficult content.
10% critical, 10%.
Are there more stats than plus attack and plus defense in the game? Good question. So there's going to be a bunch more panels tomorrow. We haven't learned a lot of granular information, but there's going to be a lot of information, a lot of panels. So, trying to bring up what different keys do we have right? Oh, what is this? A town portal? Okay, so T is still town portal. I'm hitting all the, okay. O is a social panel. Interesting. Map and journal. 5 minutes remaining. Okay. We're gonna get to restart on a different character. It's all good. F, K. We're up to K. L is that. Z does nothing. X, C, V, B, N, M. Okay, so there's nothing like a character stat menu to see the attributes. Find the drowning cave level 2. Okay, can we finish this in time? Chieftain. Eden.
We should find another way.
I missed a chest. We'll get on our next playthrough.
There is no other way.
There's no other way. Uh-oh. Oh, that's what happened there. Look, what is it? What? No kidding. And then we can climb back up. That's cute. That's cute. So there's verticality to the world. That's really interesting. Okay, can we take out this guy? Find the lair of the drowned witch. Okay, he's just in our way. We gotta speed over. Try to finish this quest. What's further down on the inventory after the scroll bar? Quest items and materials. Yes, crafting is set to play a big part of the game. They really want to expand on crafting, is what they have expressed. Find the lair of the drowned witch. We're searching. We're searching. Will we find it in time? Here we go. Oh boy. Slay Marinth of the Deep. What is this? This is like Creed Dark style. Oh boy. Ow. Okay. Let's take a little potion there. Throw a rock. Summon the hounds. Marinth of the Deep. Drowned witch. Okay, we got this. All right. Vomit it up. Look at that. Ooh, a bunch of stuff. We're in a town portal. Oh, whoa, Thunderspire. Whoa, hold on, whoa. Thunderspire, legendary staff. Okay. Lightning strikes. What? Nearby enemy dealing whenever you shapeshift. That's all the time. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. Very awesome. Very awesome. Oh, man. Okay. So it looks like there's a little side quest. So it's going to be a non-linear story. There's going to be a campaign mode, but they really liked adventure mode, so you don't have to play the campaign. Or you can play the few campaign missions, then do some other stuff, then go back to campaign. You could ignore campaign completely, or you can just straight play campaign. Yeah, so they have skill tree, and they also have the talent system. It sounds like with the skills, you should be able, okay, we got like 2 minutes left here. The skills, you level up skills individually. Here. You level up individual skills. You can find skill tomes in the world. With enough time and effort, you could eventually max out all your skills. But talents, that's the skill tree type thing where you have to make choices. You cannot respec skills, but you can respec talents, is the current iteration of the design choices, is my understanding. All right, let's see. Let's quickly interact with Una. You got a quest for us? Old ways, okay. Investigate the standing stones. We got a minute left. Can we even get there in time?
That's actually really cool.
This is exactly what D3 should have been, saying flow to Nox. Yeah, so I apologize, folks. No alerts today. Wasn't able to get that set up, but
Yeah, break call and nothing else. Like, I don't
figure
care
we'll get a
Oh my god.
clean old stream. Typically, we read all chat comments directed at us, but this is gonna be too much today, and we figure we want to get gameplay, a lot of gameplay in today, as much as possible. Look at that, the lightning every time we shapeshift. Yes. "30 seconds left. Can we expect more gameplay mechanism? I don't know how to answer that. Probably. Very hyped for this. Kanadar. I love the, oh man. So this is like, oh, look at that. Oh, gnarly. Gnarly. What the fuck is this? Oh my goodness. Thank you for playing. Okay, we're gonna restart now on the Sork. That was the second most requested. We're gonna get to play all the classes. Well, they haven't kicked us out just yet, so yeah. Yeah. All right, Sork next. We're gonna get to see a little bit more of the character customization options. So the demo lasts 20 minutes. The way demos work at BlizzCon, there's a set duration so that people that are playing, we're playing the same demo that everyone else is playing. There's a huge lineup, there's a bunch of demo stations, you get to play for 20 minutes, then it says thank you for playing, you're supposed to leave, and new people come in. For the streamers, you just have to start over. So let's see some customization options here for our Sorceress. That's like more of the typical D2 Sorceress. That's more of a newfangled new school. That's like closer to Isendra. Oh man. Yeah, so it's interesting they said not even BlizzCon soon, when they definitely distinctly said that it's coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I suppose that doesn't mean that it won't come to the next-gen consoles. Yeah, so nothing else beyond here. All right. So real quick here, Blizzard. Nice. So the Sork is the one that has, my understanding, has the most colorful spell effects, and even that is pretty subdued. It's not like overly colorful like D3. It feels natural and normal, and her spells will light up these dark dungeons. Lightning Spear. Whoa, witness lock on target. Nice. Meteor. Boom. Conduit. You become light. Oh, this. Okay, you guys got to see this insane skill. Hold on, I want this to have a good payoff. Oh, I could click around to teleport. Oh my god. This is so much more satisfying than Archon. Oh my goodness, look at that. And then our Frostbolt and Fireball. Boom. And then the dodge. So the new game engine. New lighting effects, right? Dynamic lighting. If we shoot something in the corner, it lights it up dynamically. See darkened corner, boom, Fireball lights it up. This is the most colorful class as well.
There you are.
How much are we holding back our joy gas on this film, man? After all these years, we are here. We are here. Ray tracing is not actually confirmed as well. I don't know actually. Stone of Jordan. Now I understand what SVR was shouting about earlier. What? +1 ranked your equip skills. The soldier's back. Oh yeah. This is almost like a love letter to D2. It was Lightning Spear, that lock-on target stuff. This takes place decades after D3. The world has gone to hell, basically. Would definitely love to continue our lore series. Abso-fruitly, yes. It's just so nice that we can all celebrate together now. Look at this. Look at this. Look how dark that is. Oh, man. You can hold left click to skip scenes. Oh, okay. Cool. Will there be a D3 remastered before D4? I doubt it. Okay. That reminds me of a scene from Tomb Raider, actually. Okay. So. Yeah. Let's head on over. The Blizzard radius is a little small, but I mean, there's going to be skills. There's going to be gear and stuff that's going to modify the way skills operate here. I'd love to do lore videos covering all Diablo lore from all sources. Whatever game, whatever book, whatever narrative it comes from. I feel like I need to dash more. Although I'm not sure how fast we can speed up. Okay, do we ever get the mount? So the open world areas are so large that we have mounts in this game. And what's really cool is that as you dismount, there are dismount abilities. So it's not like clumsy dismount attack or clumsy dismount animation. You can have dismount abilities so that you're attacking as you're dismounting. I haven't seen that in another game. I haven't played a ton of games with mounts. It's mostly MMOs. Go to the pentagram on the map. Oh, up there. Okay, we're going. We're heading on over. World boss is top center. Let's go die. Time to die. Yeah, it feels a numlock. I don't think it's working. Either that or I'm not hearing it. So that's the one thing. Yeah, look at this. The vertical. That's so cool. It's a little thing, right? But it makes the world feel a little bigger. A little more significant. Oh my god. What is this? I wish I could zoom in. Oh, hi. Who this? Hey, come back. Okay, so just to look at this, or is this thing going to spawn? White Falcon. Cheers, buddy. Can we summon this beast? So it has no cooldown, but it does have that sort of interrupt. Peek the world map. Yeah, look at that. Look at that world map. There are 5 open world areas, overworld areas. So details. Details are not popping up for me, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Needs no work for me. How far south can I go? Not further south than this. I don't know if we could actually go further south. Maybe I just haven't examined that yet. Check the skill tree to see if there is frozen orb. I mean, there must be. Okay, hold on. Oh, but there's not. No. This is Blizzard. Flame shield, ice armor, teleport. They didn't give us. Okay. I'd imagine. Yeah, frozen orb is there. It's gotta be, right? Do we know about cross-play? Not. They think it's cool, but it's not currently in the works, is my understanding. So this guy not spawning unless I'm doing something wrong here. But I think we'll move on to the quest. Get things done. You can see other random players. Yes, only in the overworld areas is my understanding. There's going to be trading. There's going to be PvP. No auction house. Did we pick up any? No, not yet. Look at this. Hey, hi. 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 Okay, I'm just going to skip straight to the place. They haven't spoken about Diablo Immortal yet. Okay, well, there's an event here. Okay, no, we've done this one already. We'll keep going. Let's see how further we can progress. No word of D2 Remaster. No, seems like either that leak wasn't legit, very bizarre, but I mean, this is more than D2 Remaster. This is like D2 Remade. Okay, so let's see. I feel like I'm not catching up to this. I started accidentally attacking. I need a force move. Is it fast? I don't feel it's faster to dash around. I don't know. Is PvP going to be optional? I'm not sure how that's going to work. I thought they didn't talk about monetization. At least I haven't heard about it. Dashing does slow you down. Okay. So there will be other ways of moving fast along the map, and that comes in the form of mounts. I don't know if it's just not implemented in the demo. We saw mounts in the gameplay demo footage earlier. I shouldn't have used that. Oh, runes! Fucking runes. Oh my god. Can we do rune words? Wait, whoa. Okay, we have a chest. We can put runes. We're not gonna get rune word. Okay. Oh my god, runes. Okay, runes. Vex. When you use a healing potion, activate the next socketed rune. When active, gain 50% critical strike chance for 7 seconds. Whoa. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. Vex Dole. Ah. Oh, man. No release date. Not soon is all they said. Gotcha, Udune. All right, we're going to hop on down here. So apparently, I'm learning that we got a big old cooldown on Conduit. Okay, that's fair. It's a super powerful ability. So apparently, Quinn found out that cosmetic MTX likely will be a thing. One thing they did mention is it'll be a game with expansions. They did, that's one thing I heard in the group interview. There will be expansions. I mean, I'm sure we're all shocked about that. Absolutely shocked. No specific rune words. I thought there would be some specific rune words. It'd be a mixture of being able to combine runes and, rune words. I mean, they were a little nebulous on the concept, but they were like, we want you to find your own combinations of like runes and stuff. Yeah, it does feel like there's that slowdown there. That's okay. Seasons confirmed. Endgame crafting to modify equipment also. Awesome. Okay, so we're saving Conduit for this fight. This fight right here. Eat it. Darker Greed. Whoa, okay. Alright, so either I'm terrible at Sword or this fight was a lot easier on the Druid. Oh, the stagger meter. Are we seeing the stagger meter happen? Okay, I think that's what happened. So they have this. Alright, in Diablo 3, there's a mechanic whereby if you apply a bunch of crowd control to a boss, he becomes increasingly resistant to crowd control. Instead, in D4, when you apply a crowd control to a boss, you start to fill its stagger meter. And this is applicable across groups as well. And once the stagger meter is full, the boss will have some kind of stagger effect. And it's going to vary depending on the boss. Staff of Fractured Flames. Yes. So instead of being punished for repeatedly CCing a monster, you're rewarded for doing so. Fireball launches 3 projectiles. Yes, the deal. Look at the visual appearance on that. And I love that you can see this close up of your character as well. All right, let's go turn this in. World boss is spawned. Oh, okay, we gotta head over. Gotta head over to world boss. What's the faster way? I think it's this way. Run, run, run. Let's go die to the world boss. Check out the pin on the world map. All right, we're heading over. We're heading over. Is dash forward similar to what roll is on console? It's more clumsy, so it's not meant to be a mobility skill with regards to moving faster. It's meant to be an evade. So it's not something you use to expedite your movement, but rather to dodge an enemy's attack. Because it kind of staggers you after. Okay. All right, we got a buddy, and Dariel's with us. We've zoomed out now. Look at that. Look at the 3 fireballs. Okay. We're going to conduit. It might be a bit early to conduit, but we'll do it while we still can. Slay Ashaba the Pestilent. I shouldn't have done that. That was a big... Oh, my God. Oh, hi. Hello. Oh, no. Oh, dear. Could I hit her with 3 fireballs because she's so big? No, you're going to do a thing. Oh, my God. What the... Oh, my fucking shit. Whoops. Okay. Okay. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. What is happening to us? All right. We're okay. This is under control. We got this in the bag. How many are we dying to this boss? No. Oh, my God. How do we even get out of that? Okay. We have to learn to telegraph these. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay. Pop another potion. I don't have enough. Even my freaking lightning blast is terrified of this thing. No, 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 no. Okay, okay, okay. We're okay. No, we're not okay. We're not okay. Nothing is fine. Oh, my goodness. We have, what, 1 health? What is happening? Okay, I'm just going to shoot fireballs from 3 screens away. Bravely. Brave Sir Robin here. Okay, okay, we're behind. No! Okay, we evaded that through skill and not dumb luck. Clearly, that's what happened. I have to remember to not dodge for purposes of... Oh, okay, so there's no... Oh, yeah, okay, there's no cooldown, oh my god, on Blizzard. But it does cost a bunch of mana. We're actually going to take this thing down. I didn't expect that. Okay, conduit time. Let's really help out now. Bam, 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 bam. While we can. A little bit of help, a little bit of help. Zippity-doo-dah. Contribute some DPS. And it's done. Okay. Back to cowering. So this is this sort of like open world MMO-ish kind of elements. They never use the term MMO. We don't know what amount of players there's going to be. They we asked the question. They didn't really answer it. I think they're not sure yet. They're settling on what is the right amount of players to allow in an area. Oh, she staggered. Oh, yeah. Look how many people we are. That's so cool. Working together. So one concern that I had about what I didn't like about the whole open world thing was like the world seems like a nerf softy docile world when you got a bunch of heroes running around, you know, just spawn camping mobs and stuff. So far I'm not feeling that. So far the world still seems hostile. In fact, it makes me feel more insignificant that we're just a bunch of like loser nobodies trying to not die. We're not a godly Nephilim. We're just a bunch of plebs. Oh, with some power. I mean, you know, compared to the Nephilim. Oh, no, no. Okay. Whew, we're good. We're going to take her down. I didn't expect this. But we're a lot of people. And this fight has taken forever. There's a bunch of different mechanics going on. Look at this. Look at this. I'm sorry, I've been keeping my eyes peeled. Okay, we got this again. We're a zippity-doo lightning boy. And yes! Eat it, Ashaba. Yes. All right. So loot is like in D3. You see your own loot, but you can drop loot for other people. What is this? Isidoro's Overflowing Cameo, Legendary Amulet. Lightning traps periodically appear around you. What? Yes, thank you. Sure, I'll take that. And now we've zoomed back in. Look, now we just all go our own way. That was amazing. Oh, man. No paragons, you have to right-click on the map. Okay. How big is the map? Massive. There's supposed to be 5 open-world areas. Maybe, I don't know if this is just one of them. There's 5 open-world areas. Kyrgyzstan is going to be one. Skazglan, or however it's pronounced, is another. I think we're in Skazglan right now. Yeah, Cain Adar. I love how they leaned into the whole Celtic mythos and the Celtic names. It's just that, I just love it. The whole, like, Braveheart, sort of spooky, dark Druid vibe. Not the, like, high fantasy, WoW kind of Druid. In that case, like, I feel they've executed on the Druid even better than D2. I know it's, like, sacrilege. But honestly, man, everything we've seen from the opening cinematic, you guys see that? It's like a horror movie. It's amazing. It starts off like you're a bunch of you're like a D&D party of just some random jerk butt grave robbers, tomb raiders. And you just get slaughtered. They are not afraid to go dark with the storylines. Loch Wraith. 2 minutes left on this character. Let's create a path on the map by right-clicking. Wait, what? Oh, cool. Hold on, let's take a look at that again. We right-click. Oh, that's cute. Oh, and it appears. That's a nice feature. Yes, I like it. It's like Google Maps built in. Oh, that is a great feature. Recalculating. What was something just appeared there and then disappeared? In 500 yards, turn right. Recalculating, you dumbass. All right. What do we got going on here? Do we got a time of 1 minute? Look at the vibe of this. Blood Clan Shaman. Corrupted Shrine. Set the PC clock back to extend the time. So here's the thing, like, the latest areas added to Diablo 3 looked similar to this. They were getting thematically darker, but they were still kind of with the more painterly visuals. This is grittier, and I think that's what people really love about it. It's even grittier. No overlay map. Not that I can see. It's that little corner map. We got 30 seconds to go. Can we DPS this down in 30 seconds? I am skeptical. Potion for rune crit. Oh, good call. Yes, I have to remember to use my potion offensively for the enhanced critical. 15 seconds, we're not going to get it. So far I prefer the Druid to the Sork, only it could just be that the Druid felt stronger. Lightbane the Hated, no. We got 4 seconds. Oh, we got him. All right, we did it. Corrupted Shrine event completed. Thank you for playing. The font as well really has that vibe to it, right? Kill the Shaman. We'll find out if we get to talk to a dev on stream. I'm definitely open to it. We'll see what happens. Any word on the fate of the D3 Nephilim? No word on that so far. We know it takes place decades later. The gates of heaven are closed. Basically, after heaven got wrecked, the angels were like, screw you guys, we're going home. No word on Tyrael or anything like that. Yeah, all right. So, it's Barbarian time. Are we going to play Red Sonja? Oh, they got more customization options here. So, are we going to be Red Sonja? Are we going to be this feller? Now, in the lore, the Barbarian and the Druid are actually tied. I believe they're both the children of Bolcathos. Way back in the day, Barbarians and Druids were one tribe. But they sort of split up as some took a more martial approach, some took a more one with nature approach. I love that you can see they are thematically linked, right? The Celtic knots. Those tribal tattoos. You can see a nippy. You can see a bit of a nippy. All right, let's go with a little more. What do we say? Red Sonja? Let's go Red Sonja. All right. Reminds me of Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice. Yes, exactly, that aesthetic. That's the Celtic vibe, right? Okay, is this Shout? Rallying Cry. Bellow or Rallying Cry. Granting all allies unstoppable. Increased move speed. Reduce damage taken. Cool. Oh, here's the awesome thing. Look, 4 weapon slots for the Barb. The Arsenal system. He or she will pull out the slots as the weapons as necessary. Okay, Frenzy. Rapid Flurry of Blows. Increasing attack. Cool. Requires dual-wielded weapons. Upheaval requires two-hander. So we will wield our two-hander when that is necessary to do. Tear into the ground with your weapon. Leap. Rupture. Skewer enemies in a line. Wrath of the Berserker. All right, let's go. Is there a durability system? Not that I could see. Honestly, I don't really care for durability. I wouldn't, I guess I don't mind having it in the game, but to me it doesn't add anything to the game. I don't mind it leaving forever. I guess it made sense when you had ethereal items, but outside of that, it's just an annoying thing. Like, well, it's a pseudo gold sink that isn't really relevant. There is some crazy part. I don't know if you hear that dance music. Remove armor for science. There you go. No Barbie dolls. This is a warrior, all right? You want a gritty realism? Oh, what was that? Estador's some. Estador's overflowing camp. Oh, okay, it's a lightning thing. It's the same item we got on our sword. Unfortunately, I can't hear much of the sound. Awesome. Yeah, sounds great. Folks, it sounds like we're going to get David Kim.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, David. Awesome.
I see your videos a lot on YouTube, which is very cool.
Fantastic. The one, the only David Kim, folks. If you follow my videos and my streams, you know I've spoken a lot about him and how he updated his LinkedIn a few years ago to state that he moved over to Team 3. And you can finally talk about that now, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So the speculation was it was going to be for PvP type balancing because you didn't play as a pro player because you couldn't for conflict of interest, but you were playing on a professional level. You played StarCraft 2 on a professional level. You were huge in the StarCraft scene, a major balancing guy. Like, you were a hero there.
Oh, I see.
And,
not really, but I did my best.
You did great.
Yeah, thanks.
And so hearing that you were coming to D3, I was like, oh, man, okay. Either
Diablo 4.
Sorry, yes,
Yeah.
Diablo 4. Either you want to do something completely different, or you came to fix PvP in Diablo because they tried to do it in D3 and they couldn't get it into a state where they were happy with it. So now that you're able to talk about things, what happened? What's the story?
So around the time when I was finishing up my responsibilities on the StarCraft 2 team, I looked at my options, and Diablo 4 sounded so exciting. So I moved over. So I'm the lead systems designer on the team. So I work. Me and my team works on things like class design, items, progression systems, PvP, like you said, things along those lines.
Oh, it says not to adjust. Oh boy. It says not to adjust, but I had noticed this before, that one of the mics is a lot louder. Oh, man.
Oh, mine is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's peaking. It says not to adjust. Should we adjust it?
Up to you. It's your stream.
Oh, but there's like labels that say don't adjust. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I don't know how to individually.
Should I pull this out a little bit?
Oh, yeah, maybe as a hack. Yeah, just try that.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Sorry about that. Awesome. So you had lead systems designer. You saw the opportunity. How's it been? How's been the transition? Because they're two very different genres of game.
Yeah. So I thought it would be much harder than I expected, but I think a lot of the game design philosophies kind of transcend genres. Plus, there's a lot of great people that I can learn from And also, I did interview for the team. I applied, got the job. So that gave me a little more confidence too. So I think that's just how to. So many Blizzard teams work this way. Like if you want to switch teams, you actually go through the interview process, get approved, and then you can join the team, right? So that also gave me some confidence. And I've been here for a few years now, so yeah, it's great.
Awesome. What are you most excited about in Diablo 4?
So for me, I am the most excited about adding more replayability to seasons. So for example, on the item side, we want to make sure that legendary items are on equal or greater power level compared to set items in Diablo 4. That way you can customize every single slot. And also I think we can do more. For example, in a given season, what if we make some subset of legendary items really stand out over others, right? And also introduce brand new legendary items into the game. So this way, every season you have brand new builds to explore and brand new combinations to kind of figure out like which ones are the strongest possible combinations, right?
Awesome.
Oh, they want to talk about rune words, I guess.
Okay. What can you tell us about rune words?
Oh, yeah. So there are two types of runes in Diablo 4, condition runes and effect runes. So you can take any condition rune and combine it with any effect rune to form a rune word, right? So have you seen the rune word in one of the dungeons yet?
Yeah, we picked up it on potion effect.
Yeah.
Then the critical applies. Yeah.
Yeah. So for example, say you don't want the trigger to happen on potion use, right? What if you want it to happen on every time you stun something because you're going for a stun build? You can change out that condition rune and have that exact same effect happen on that condition, right? And if you don't like that effect, if you want, say, like, I want life leech after I stun something, then I could do that too, right? So you have that full customization, so it's pretty exciting.
What's the biggest chain of runes that you have in mind? Is it going to be like full 6 like in D2, or is it going to be limited to 2, 3?
Right now we're thinking of the 2. We haven't added progression to it yet, but that's also something that we're discussing right now.
Awesome. Now, with regards to atomization, I know that some of the legendaries will be altering the way some skills could operate.
Yeah.
Are we going to see like massive multipliers, like this legendary makes this skill do 500% more damage?
No, the plan, so the reason why I think that happened was because the Diablo 3 team didn't want to do nerfs to items because for various reasons. But where we're at right now is we do want to do the nerfs, but strategically so that it doesn't mess with the builds. So the plus side of being able to do nerfs is we can make sure that such crazy bonuses don't happen, right? Which I think is a good thing because it's going to make more builds much more viable.
Awesome. I think a lot of people are happy to hear that.
Yeah. Oh, really? Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a bit about dungeon keys?
Oh, yeah. How'd you hear about it already?
God, where was it? It was either at a panel or the interview, dev interview.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it's a system. It's inspired by the Greater Rift key system. There's dungeons in the world. You can find keys, and that will upgrade and modify these dungeons into higher difficulty things, and you can stack different things to make it even more difficult.
Yeah.
Is there anything you want to expand upon in regards to that?
Yeah, so there are the difficulty levels, kind of like Griff levels, on the keys themselves. There are dungeon affixes that make the dungeon more difficult and different. But I think what's cool about dungeon keys compared to Greater Rifts is you can see some of the things on it, right? You can know like what exact affix there is, and because it says the specific dungeon that you're going to, you can know the monsters that usually show up in those dungeons, right? So because of these things, you can pre-plan and strategize a little bit. So you can change out, say like, it's like a dungeon where mobility is preferred. Maybe I can switch out one of my abilities with teleport, and I can kind of think more before I go in. So that added strategic depth, I think, is something that's very cool.
Right, because you're going to be able to level up your skills individually. There's going to be, as you level, you gain skill points, but you also find skill tomes in the world. Yeah. And then so you're able to swap between these. Okay.
Oh, so these are permanent choices.
Permanent choices.
Yeah, and then you'll get one or more skill points when you level up. And like you said, you can get skill point tomes, and then you can pick your choices that way.
Okay.
And then there's the talents.
Yes.
These you can reset and redo as you see fit. And then every class's talent tree is very different. Have you had a chance to take a look at different classes?
No, we didn't.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, we didn't dig into that.
Yeah, I think that would be something that is interesting to look into in your stream because, like, in tomorrow's panel, for example, we're not going to be able to go over every single node or anything like that, right? Yeah. So, like, this one is 2 trees, and then at the end, you have one of 4 choices. These are kind of the stronger talents in the talent tree, right? But if you look at the Sorceress one, it's completely different. It starts with 1 elemental kind of node, and it branches off into 3, and she has a 1 of 6 choices, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you specialize either in one of the 3 elements.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
And then for the Druid, it looks kind of like this right now, but what we're exploring is hybrid nodes. So you can imagine like going down one of the sides, and you can transfer over to the other side, which makes it very powerful for the Druid, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So they're all very different.
For the Druid, is it like one branch is shapeshifting and one is more of the
Nature magic.
Nature magic?
Yeah.
Okay.
So earth and storm magic. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I see people asking about hardcore.
Oh yeah, of course we're gonna have hardcore in Diablo 4. Yeah,
It's
it's
going to
like
operate as it's always operated?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So when you die, you'll die forever. I personally don't understand,
The appeal?
but yeah, because like I don't want to lose all my progress over the past 2 years or whatever. But we know that there are so many people, and it wouldn't be a Diablo game without hardcore. So, yeah.
That's fair. Do you want to talk a bit more about the... Actually, I should... Yeah, I think we want to get you a bit more...
Oh, I see.
I just noticed. Yeah, sorry about
Oh,
that. All right.
that's fine.
So the PvP system.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about how that's going to work? Is it going to be similar to D2 where you can just hostile and then go kill people?
So there will be specific areas of the world where you can do that. So you can just go hostile and kill people. Maybe there's some objectives that PvE players would go there to do and things like that. So that's where we're at with the world PvP. And we are also exploring some PvP modes that could be fun for Diablo 4. It's going decently well, but we haven't found something that we really love. So we'll have more info to share on that in the future.
Okay, so something like... So for instance in D3, you know, they were making the PvP team-based, I guess, team deathmatch sort of stuff. Is that the kind of potential idea we're looking at?
So what we're looking at is modes, PvP modes that are more mixed PvP and PvE. Because we feel that Diablo, at the core of it, the most fun thing is killing like mobs of monsters, right?
Yes.
And getting more powerful. So in a PvP match, we want to kind of capture that too, and have you kill players too. Yeah.
Awesome. I know some ideas were like 2 different teams racing through 2 different greater rifts, and like whoever can, you know, beat the other. That's sort of EVP type of scenario.
Yeah.
But then you can
like
also
that, right?
kill that other team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is an esports angle potentially on the table?
Not for us, but you never know what the players will do with the game once it's out, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this is the rune that we were talking about, the runes.
Yeah, it's a simple rune word, but once we add like progression to it too, it's going to be much more, customizable, I think. Yeah. And at the panel tomorrow, we're going to be showing off some more runes.
Awesome.
So yeah, be sure to check that out, right?
Is there a like a character stat window that we're missing, like what would have like strength, dexterity, that kind of stuff?
For item stats and items. Can you click on the details? Probably not. Okay, it's fine. If you mouse over one of the items, it has like attack and defense and an affix on it, right? So what we're trying to do is attack generally means damage. Defense generally means damage reduction. We want to simplify some of the math choices into these stats and keep only the playstyle choices and add to the playstyle choices, right? So what I mean by that is like, say if you have a choice between 2 items, one says I deal 100 damage plus 100 damage, and then the other one says plus 10% damage. I don't really know which one actually does more damage unless I work out the math problem, right? So we kind of simplified those to attack, but we have more damaging affixes as well. So for example, we have like an affix that says more damage against faraway enemies or something, right?
Okay.
Or we have plus to talent nodes as affixes, which gives you a lot more damage to your choice. And that second one is very cool because if you look at the talent tree, say you went down the left talent all the way, you don't have a lot of points to spend on the other side remaining, right? But you can grab like one of the tier 4 talents through items, which is very cool, right? And we're also exploring plus to skill points as affixes too. So we want to add as many playstyle choice affixes as possible and make sure that those are not math choices as much as we can.
Awesome. All right. Oh, that's some haunting music.
Oh yeah.
So, you played D2 back in the day?
Yeah, of course.
Did you have a favorite class?
I think Barbarian was my favorite. Like whirlwinding nonstop forever. Yeah. What was yours?
Oh man. So my first favorite was the Necro. Just getting to play the he's not a bad guy, but he's like a dark hero.
Yeah.
Getting to play that vibe was really cool. That was my first experience. I got through normal as a Skelemancer, and then all my as soon as I got to Nightmare, just all my skeletons are instantly dying.
I had that exact same experience too. Yeah. So and then there was no resetting of the points or anything like that, so we had to start over, right?
Exactly,
Yeah. I had the exact same thing. Yeah. I think it was Act 3 of Nightmare, right?
It could be.
Yeah. I remember that too. Yeah.
And then my first successful character was a Druid, shapeshifter,
Oh,
werewolf.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my most successful character was a Hammerden.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So we know there's going to be 5 classes on launch. Is that definitely determined? I know you can't
Yes.
speak to what the other 2 classes will be.
Yeah.
Is there plan to perhaps introduce more down the line?
Yeah, of course. Through expansions, we'll have new classes.
And when we're talking about expansions, are we talking about the sort of typical Blizzard expansion we normally see, or maybe smaller scale things on a quicker turnaround?
Yes, the current plan is to go with the base game with the expansion model like we've seen in the past with Diablo games.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're able to talk to monetization, but is that the only monetization in mind?
Oh, if you are trying to ask about are we going to sell power in the game, then the answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah.
But potentially cosmetics or something
potentially,
like that. And stash space or character slots?
Yeah, we want to try to give players enough so that you don't need more, especially the first few months or more of the game, but you never know what's going to happen in the future, right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about crafting? We've heard that they want to make you guys want to make crafting a bigger thing in D4.
Yeah.
I've heard someone mention, I think, crafting components.
Yeah.
Is there anything more you can tell us?
Yeah, so for crafting, it's still a work in progress, but what I can tell you is the 2 goals that we have. First is we want to make sure that crafting, especially the gathering component, is fully integrated to the open world of Sanctuary. And the second is we want to make sure that if you go out of your way to collect all these recipes, materials, things like that, and spend your time to craft something, that it's worth your while. But outside of that, yeah, we're still working on it.
Hellhammer, what is this?
Have you seen it yet?
Oh.
Make sure upheaval, fire upheaval.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So max level I hear is 40 currently, but that could potentially change.
Yeah.
So is it that you get to 40 and then there's like Paragon levels, or?
Oh, yeah. We do want to have an endgame progression system. Our main goal for that is we want to make sure that players pick meaningful choices when they're trying to form a build, and when they're trying to form a completely different build, then you can change out those choices that you made with another meaningful set of choices that fit the new build much better. And outside of that, no real hard decisions have been made yet, but that's the one thing that we want to hit.
Gotcha. And the 1 to 40. So in D3 right now, getting 1 to 70 is pretty fast. Unless you're a new player, if
it's getting faster and faster, right?
It's getting faster and faster. Yeah. So do you see it being 1 to 40 could take months or hours or weeks? Do you have anything you're aiming for in that regard?
Yeah, this is something that we're actively discussing, and it would be great if we can get some feedback from people too. Yeah, but we're not sure yet. So the factors that go into this decision, of course it's not going to be as fast as Diablo 3 though, right? It's going to be much longer. But how long exactly? Things like how long is the campaign experience? How long is the level up systems? Let's say we have the skill point system and the talent tree system. If that's used for 500 hours, that's probably way too much. So we have to calculate what we have and see if the leveling time is enough. If it's not, then we have to make some changes, right? We have to either shorten the time or introduce more systems during level up to make the extra time useful. So it's something that's very difficult to say this early on, but it is something that we are paying close attention to and discussing internally. But we would love to hear people's feedback, right? So if you can gather and then let us know, that would be great too, right?
Sounds great.
Yeah.
So we got 25 seconds here. Real quick here. There's 5 open world areas. Is this just one of them, or is this all 5?
I'm pretty sure up to here is all of the Diablo 4 that we are planning so far.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So you can see it's a very small part, so we have a long ways to go.
Ah, leaving room for expansion. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any beta plans? Probably too early to.
Yeah,
talk
way
about
too
it.
early.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a lot of work remaining to go. Like, we are showing everything that we can. So if you open up like the skill tree, then the grayed out ones, we would have loved to show them, but like the effects are not ready or animation's not ready and things like that, right? So we do have a long ways to go.
All right.
Yeah. What was your favorite class so far?
So far, I think the Druid. Part of it is that it feels powerful. Part of it is it's been a long time since I played the Druid.
Yeah.
Like I love the Barbarian, but I can play Barbarian in D3.
Oh, I see.
Same thing with the Sword.
Yeah.
The Druid, it's like it's something that people, there was a time when people thought that it was going to come to D3 as a character pack like the Necro.
I see. Yeah.
And then it seems like it didn't happen. So there's been a big demand for the Druid. I think this is a big win to include the Druid.
Man, but the wolves look so good, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They're good boys. They're good boys. So we spoke about hardcore. There will be hardcore.
Yeah.
I don't know what more we want to say. This is going to act like it acted in D2.
Yeah.
Because other games do it that if you die in hardcore, you become a softcore character.
Yeah, we don't currently have plans for that, but we'll see what the players want, right? But currently the plan is to make it as true to the Diablo hardcore as possible.
All right. Do you want to speak a little bit to your plans on difficulty? So currently D3, for instance, has 20 difficulty settings from up to Torment 16, and then Greater Rifts have that infinite scaling. Do you envision D4 being more like, say, D2, where you have normal Nightmare Hell, or what kind of difficulty system do you think you're looking at?
Yeah, so that's an interesting one because for the level up experience, surprisingly, we aren't sure what the exact answer is yet. But for the end game, the key dungeons will act similar in that sense to Grifts. So you have that infinite kind of challenge that you can keep going up, right? And in the open world, in the end game, we want to make sure that there are difficult challenges there too, to add to the replayability. But outside of that, it's something that we'll have to figure out. So we'll see in the future.
All right.
Yeah, so the Druid, if you check out some of the talents, you can actually attach some bonuses to shapeshifting.
All right, I'm just going to clear up this a bit.
Right.
Awesome. Talents, okay. So
so I think it's one of these somewhere.
Heightened senses. Damage reduction against nearby enemies is increased.
So it should say whenever you shapeshift into a form.
Form.
So this is very interesting because the bonus persists.
Ah, yes.
So you can actually stack up these bonuses at the exact right moments that you want. So I think that's one of the coolest things about rapid shapeshifting.
Yeah.
Because you can choose your bonuses, and items obviously will have even more choices, right? So when you equip legendaries, you can do some crazy stuff, and the timing of when you change will matter a lot, right?
Right.
Yeah. So it visually looks awesome, but on the system design side, it's cool because you have that full customization of I'm choosing what happens, and I'm choosing when it happens too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Now, party size, has that been determined yet? Is it going to be 4? Is it going to be 8?
Yeah, party size is 4, but as you saw from... Oh, maybe you have played it.
We did, the open
world
world.
boss. Yeah. So the world boss requires like multiple parties. There will be other activities that require multiple parties as well. But yeah, the party size is 4.
All right. So we heard about trading, that there will be trading. Is it only in the town hub so that can happen?
No, but trading is very interesting because we have a specific goal for trading, which is we want to make sure that there is trading in Diablo 4, but not completely open-ended trading so that players can't just get all the best items by like not even playing the game, right?
Right.
So where we're at right now is there are items that are tradable all the time, so we can maybe use that flag as anything that's common in the game, maybe we can use that flag. For bind on trade items, I can find something very cool, and then I can use it for as long as I want, and then I can give it to you or something like that. But once I give it to you, you can't trade it anymore. So this flag, we can use it for even some of the best items in the game, but not all, obviously, right? And then finally, we have the bind on pickup, which everyone should know how that works, right? So something like this, I think, is a good example of where a solution that fits our goals, but I don't think this is the end all, and it's something that we'll have to iterate more on. So this is another one of those things that I really want feedback from people on, is why I'm so like detailed with this, with this answer, right?
I know that a lot of people in the community would love to see more interaction from the devs, love more open communication.
Oh, I see.
I don't know if you can speak to that, but just to pass it along, people love when they can interact with devs,
be
so it on the forums, be it on Reddit.
Yeah, so it kind of depends on which state the game is in, right? Like, obviously, we just announced for the first time, so it's not going to be the same as, say, like in a live game. But I think the current plan is after this announce, we will kind of check back with the community and give some kind of media updates on various different parts of the project in kind of a more regular way, right? So I think last Luis talked about it, it was maybe 4 times per year to start off with, and then see how adjust as we go, right?
All right. I'm not missing the ability to use a mount, right? I haven't just not found the button.
Oh no, it's not in the demo yet.
Okay,
it's very early in the development, so what you see is pretty much all we have so far.
Okay.
Yeah, but more to come in the future.
Gotcha. I'm gonna try to check out what's over here.
Have you checked out the Garen hold? It's like a more difficult. It's on that site.
I didn't know.
Oh, I see.
Is that
Yeah.
over?
Yeah, it's a similar
and
difficult
the Google
dungeon.
Map system there.
Yeah.
There we go.
So you're level 20, but the dungeon is level 23, right?
All right.
Yeah.
People are mentioning the possibility of doing. You guys can do live streams where you can have people ask you questions in chat.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, we'll have to work out the details, like where we go from here, right? But yeah, me personally, I love the idea of getting the community's feedback more aggressively and working with the community, but that's very hard to do if there is no playable game out in the public.
Right.
So yeah, so we'll see how it goes, right? Because when I was on like StarCraft, for example, we had very heavy community interactions, but that was because we have the live game, we can put out the balanced test maps, all this stuff, right? So it'll be a little bit of a different situation here, right?
Okay. So we know that clans will be in the game, and I think that as a feature you can trade. I think there's like a shared stash, maybe a clan stash.
Oh yeah, like a clan bank or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Any other clan integrations you're considering, or you think this would basically be it?
Oh, for example, clan leaderboards is something that we're considering, but clans is also very early. Like, we probably have to build a lot more of the game first before we discuss the social features, but we definitely want to do clans, and we definitely want to have features in the game that promote social play and allowing players to make friends if they want to.
All right.
Oh, it is getting harder from here too, even though you're not in the dungeon yet.
Yeah. So we heard that the weather system is really deep, that like if it rains, your character will get wet, enemies will get wet. Is that just a visual thing, or will there be any gameplay mechanisms like lightning damages wet people more or anything like that?
I think that kind of stuff just went in, so currently it's just visual, but we'll see how that turns out, right? And where those things appear. And depending on that answer, we'll be able to do more or less with it, right? Yeah. But it would be pretty cool if you can interact with the weather in specific ways, especially in like endgame dungeons or something like that, right?
Right. Any word on increasing clan size from D3 from 150? You probably.
Oh yeah, we haven't talked about the clan size yet at all, but yeah, any feedback would be welcome there.
I know a lot of people would like it to be bigger, but
yeah,
I mean,
for sure. Yeah, right.
it's it's going to be a technological limitation, I imagine. Speaking of technological limitations, someone noted that the demo's running on 2080s, and they were asking about ray tracing.
Oh, I would not be the right person to ask for something like that, but yeah.
Yeah. Another dev also mentioned that they don't know.
Oh, okay, yeah, right.
Yeah. So, you guys did mention though that it's coming to PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that. I mean, I guess it would eventually be ported to the next-gen consoles too. I think some people are surprised that it wasn't the default to be for the next-gen consoles.
Oh, I see. I mean, those are not out yet. And then, like, even we don't know when the ship date is. So, depending on the ship date, anything can happen. But, yeah, currently, because those are the ones that we know, we're developing for those two consoles.
Okay. All we know about release date is that it was said it's not going to be soon, not even Blizzard soon.
Yeah.
Does that mean, like, 10 years?
Hopefully not, right? Because we've been developing for a few years now. And, yeah. Hope not. Yeah, but we'll
Alright.
see. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, so a lot of these storm skills. So
Yeah.
like, we want to make sure each class is very distinct and different in as many ways as possible. So you know that the Sorceress uses lightning magic, and then the Druid uses storm magic, right? So one of the mechanical ways that we're differentiating the two is we're trying to make it so that a lot of the storm skills are persistent effects. So you can cast that spell and then do whatever else you want, right? Versus lightning can't do that, so it's like a very clear mechanical difference, right? So we want to try to do more of that in
Gotcha.
Diablo 4.
So I know that this effect is, the mana is sorcerer only, but the hit effect of the Hydra
Yeah.
also applies to me? Or also sorcerer only?
Yeah, so hit effect is, I don't know if you're aware of proc scalers in...
Yeah, yeah.
Yep. Oh, okay, yeah. So we're visualizing what that is a little bit more so. So each skill should have a hit effect chance.
Uh-huh.
So it's going to allow players to exactly know the exact numbers before they plan the builds, which is different from Diablo 3, because in Diablo 3,
You have
it was
to-
a little bit hidden, so it looks like, oh, I'm going to get so many procs off of this skill, but you actually didn't get that, right? So that's what that is. And then here, yeah, like Hydra is spawned whenever you, with a 5% chance or whatever, right?
Awesome. Someone noted right away that there's no shoulder slot. Is that definitive?
Nothing, I would say, is definitive, but the current thought for it is visually, we wanted to make sure that we have that visual variety of like some armor pieces having really awesome shoulder pieces, some armors having no shoulder pieces. Say like the Barbarian, if an endgame look was topless, for example, that would be pretty cool, right?
Right.
So it's a visual change, and if we need more item slots for mechanical reasons, we can of course do that separately. So
like you did with the Barb with the Arsenal system.
yeah, right.
Do you want to explain that system a little bit?
Oh yeah. So the Barbarian can equip 2 two-handed weapons and 2 one-handed weapons, so he actually gets to use more items than any other class. And why that's cool is because, for example, there's a talent that says every time you swing a different weapon, you get this buff, and then you can stack this buff, right? So it just gives us more hooks for the Barbarian to play very differently compared to any other class in the game, right? So we can do stuff like whenever you swing two-handed weapon after dual wielding, something cool happens, things like that, right? So it just gives us a lot more, I guess, cool mechanical hooks for the Barbarian builds to be very different from other classes in the game.
I noted some people were asking about skill synergies, like in D2. Any plans on anything like that?
Oh, of course. Especially on the legendary item side, we're going to try to do as many synergies as possible. And with that change of legendaries being more powerful than set items in Diablo 4, you'll be able to fully customize exactly what you can do on every single slot and on every single skill slot too, right?
All right. Now, I think itemization-wise, someone, I believe it was Joe Shelley, was talking about how there is going to be that progression of magic to rare to legendary. And some people feel like, okay, well, I kind of like the idea that maybe a rare could be an endgame item. Is that at all possibly on the table, or do you feel that endgame will be either sets or probably legendaries?
Yeah, so if many players feel like it's too much choice to have to decide legendary powers on every single item slot, then that could be a possibility. But where we want to start, where we think we want to start, of course anything can change until we release the game, is we want to try giving players the full control and in as many slots as possible first. And if for some reason testing doesn't go well, then that is a definite possibility that we can switch to.
Any plans for leaderboards?
Yeah, so we love the idea of especially the leaderboards where you can compete with people you know. So we'll definitely do that. And aside from that, yeah, I think it's a little too early to talk about the exact plans for like a social system, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Is there a secret Calda?
I think the right answer is there is no. There hasn't been, right?
There is
I'm
no
not the best
Cal
person
level.
to describe that in the coolest of sentences. Yeah.
All Awesome. Any plan for support builds? So for instance, D3 was designed that was explicitly without support builds in mind. They want every build to be a DPS.
Yep.
Is that same philosophy in mind here, or do you want there to be actual, like, do you want support builds to be a thing?
Yeah, we want support. We are building and trying out different types of legendaries that support builds. But at the same time, what we want to try to do, if we can, is make it so that you are actually doing something against the monsters too, right? Like, for example, say you have this skill that pulls everything together, and then you can combo that with a different skill that like stuns everything in place or something like that, right? And maybe we can attach something like every time you hit with this other skill, it reduces the cooldown of those 2 critical skills that you need to use, right? So we want to make sure that everyone is playing the game and fighting the monsters, and at the same time still have those options for, if I want to play a lot more support, I can do that. If I want to play a lot more damage, then I can do that too, kind of thing.
What did you think of charms in Diablo 2?
Oh, the inventory space was difficult, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. I think the upside is it's cool collecting these cool bonuses to items, and that interacts with the kind of the item Tetris of it all. But what's a little bit not as ideal, I guess, is making a system so that you sacrifice convenience for power. So it's like, if I'm okay with going back to town like 100 times more than you, then I can be more powerful.
Yeah.
That I think we can improve if we did something like that.
Definitely agreed there. So early D3, they stated that there was going to be the Talisman System to store like a separate inventory just for charms.
Oh, I see.
Any thoughts on something like that potentially coming back, that you don't have to do that inventory Tetris with the
I see.
charms?
Yeah, yeah.
Just
And we do have different inventory slots now too, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we don't currently have plans for that, but it's something that we can definitely discuss. So I'll take it back to the team and discuss next week. Yeah.
Will the Heraldric Cube or some incarnation of it make a return?
Yeah, I also think the cube is one of those things that is very Diablo defining. So we do want some of those effects. I don't think we've talked about Mythic Items yet. We will in the panel briefly. So Mythic Items are the strongest items in Diablo 4. You can only equip one of those items, but they have 4 legendary powers on them.
Oh.
So naturally, you can kind of imagine the chances of getting the 4 exact powers that I want is not that high, right?
Right.
So if we had something like the cube, of course, it makes sense for that system, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Interesting. So I heard that you definitely want the endgame itemization, endgame builds and automation to be in the player's hands. That customization.
Yeah.
The design philosophy almost for the D3 builds is almost like the devs sort of dictate what the builds are going to be based on the set bonuses.
Kind of feels like that, right?
Yeah. It feels that way, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, players will always find certain combinations, but it still feels like there's a direction that the devs are pointing you in.
Yeah.
And it sounds like that's not the approach you're taking for D4.
Yeah, we want to create as many legendaries as possible so that people feel like they have enough options. And of course, like I talked about before, we want to create this scenario where we can introduce new items to the game through seasons. So that way, so like the most hardcore players out there, they love to discuss various topics online. So what we can do is, if there is ideas on like, this build will be really awesome if there was just this one type of item, then we can actually explore that and add that to the game and stuff like that too, right? So it's kind of going beyond, you'll have full customization in game, and also we can kind of work together to figure out what are some new types of builds that you can play in future seasons, kind of thing, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We got like 2.5 minutes left here. Speak with. That was definitely cool. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, right.
A little tougher.
Yeah.
I was honestly surprised that we beat the. I think she spawns up here, that world boss, but we were a ton of people.
Oh, I
It
see.
was cool to see all those people come together.
Yeah.
I have to admit that. I've previously expressed, before the reveal happened, concerns about the open world, going the open world route. That one thing I dislike about MMOs, and it's just a personal preference, is running into other people and like, there's respawning monsters, and it just feels like a docile world because players run amok and you're almost competing for the resource of monster kills and just waiting for a boss to respawn, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so that would be a concern, because what I like about Diablo is the feeling of it being a hostile world.
Yeah.
obviously I have a limited play experience, but so far I'm not getting the vibe of what concerned me. So so far I'm okay with the whole open world nature of it.
Yeah. Even
But-
though it's an open world and a shared open world, we want to make sure to keep that kind of dark, kind of barren, like harsh world vibe. And in order to do that, I think one of the most important things is to not have you run around and run into like 20 people, 30 people, right? So we want to make sure that unless it's a specific activity like killing the world boss, you're not running into too many people at once.
Yeah, that has been my experience. So far I've bumped into
so that's great.
1 or 2 people here and there running along, but it was only at the world event because it calls out, for people to come do it. That's cool.
How do you read the chat? Like, it goes up so fast.
Yeah, normally it's not this fast.
Oh, I see.
And normally I'm very behind on chat.
Okay,
I basically
I
spend
see.
all stream not playing and just reading
Oh,
chat.
okay, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, we miss a lot of it. But so I think crossplay was something that so far is not implemented, but they like the idea.
Yeah.
I heard about controller support on PC though.
Yeah.
No plans for keyboard mouse support for console though.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that actually, but yeah. Good thing that you heard from someone else.
Yeah. Is Magic Find coming back?
Oh, so something like Magic Find or Increased Gold we want to do. So right now we have them in gems, but what we don't like is we don't like when they compete against like damage affixes, right? So like now the player choice is, do I want to kill stuff faster, which makes me stronger, so I'm having more fun with the game, but in reality Magic Find is the way to go, so I'm actually playing a weaker build than I can, right? So what we're doing in gems is when you socket gems into jewelry, those are all kind of utility bonuses, including like Magic Find, right? So we are having those things in the game, but they won't be in contention with making you stronger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Because the D3 dev said the same thing about they didn't want to have that competition, but their solution was just, well, let's just get rid of it.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
'Cause
But it is a cool thing about Diablo, right? So yeah, we do want to bring those back.
Yeah. Because one thing that was happening as well was in group play, you'd have like one person, be the Magic Find dude for the whole party, which was like, okay, one dude's having less fun in order for the whole party to benefit. Yeah. Oh man, there's a question that I saw that I forgot about now, but I'll bring it up. Yeah, so you do plan to have seasons?
Oh yeah, of course. And the goal for seasons is to change up the play experience as much as possible. So like the item side I talked about. But we want to try to do that across as many angles as possible. So for example, new types of challenges in dungeons, new types of maybe monster affixes, things like that. But we want to do as much as we can to make sure that when you come back for a season, it's a new experience and you can have new things to explore, right?
You're probably familiar with a little game called Path of Exile.
Oh yeah.
Do you plan on, what are your thoughts on the magnitude of their leagues? Just when they do their major, like, complete game-changing new leagues? Yeah,
it's similar in some ways, different in others. So we're going to have very different types of challenges, I think. It's a great game. A lot of the people on the team really enjoy it too. But I think for Diablo, the most important thing is to try to figure out, like, not just Path, right? Look at the ARPGs, look at open world single player games, look at maybe even MMOs, and take the elements that fit and work very well in Diablo 4. So that's something that we're doing a lot of. So I guess the short way of saying that is no matter what game it is, we're going to try to make Diablo 4 with kind of every cool detail and cool system in mind.
I heard a rumor that there's a treasure goblin in a specific place on the map. Is that true?
There are treasure goblins, but I didn't think it was in a specific place.
Okay.
But as you're running around, you'll encounter him, yeah.
Cool.
Have you seen the unstoppable mechanic?
The Barbarian had it.
Oh,
yes.
I see.
That makes you not crowd controllable, yes?
Yeah, so unlike many RPGs, Diablo 4 doesn't have diminishing returns on CCs.
Okay.
So it's full duration all the time. But instead, we have specific skills that you can use that make you unstoppable, and that just means you can break out of CCs and you're immune to that CC for that duration, right? So some skills just break you out. Other skills make you unstoppable for a really long time. So you'll be able to kind of customize your own character. So if you're struggling a lot against CCs, you can build your character more resistant against that. if you're not struggling that much, then you don't have to worry about Unstoppable as much, right? So I think it's a pretty cool system because it's always difficult to remember when I use that CC if it's going to have like little effect or no effect, things like that. But now you know you'll have full effect unless the enemy has something that he can counter with, right?
Awesome. What are your thoughts on farming bosses for specific items? Is that something you see happening, or more just drops can happen anywhere?
Yeah, we get that feedback a lot internally too. But across the board, I think Diablo is about being able to kill like the weakest monster, or maybe even kill a barrel and get like the strongest item in the game, right? So baseline, I think it's important to keep that vibe, but that's not to say 100% of everything doesn't need to work like that, right? So it is something that we can definitely explore, and we should explore internally, yeah.
Has any thought been given to mercenaries or followers?
Oh, not much thought on that yet. We're still very busy building the rest of the game first. Yeah, so yeah, we'll see what happens in the future.
All right.
Yeah, so as you can see, there's like 3 different. So it starts with 1 and then 3 different, which is different from the other classes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she also has more choices than other classes in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which speaks to the asymmetrical design.
Right. Any plans to have achievement systems?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
How about player housing or clan housing?
Oh, yeah, we definitely haven't talked about that one, but yeah, we'll see, right?
All right. Some question if you plan to extend or expand the talent tree at any point?
Oh yeah, for now, our thought is we will add more to it in expansions, but to what degree, we're not sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sort of like max level is 40, then first expansion will give you another 10, 20 levels. And
yeah, something like that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Any potential dual resource classes like the Demon Hunter?
Oh, yeah, we do want to make different classes as different as possible. So one of the like easy hooks, I guess, is to have multiple resources, right? So I think you can safely assume that we will explore that very hard, but as to what the remaining classes will exactly do, I'm not sure yet.
Okay. In D2, certain skill runes like Enigma could allow a non-sorc to have teleport, for instance. You can have a different class's skill equipped.
Yep. Like the Hydra that you saw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like in D3, it was a design choice that they definitely did not want that to happen.
I see. Yeah.
In D4, you're... Oh, whoop.
I guess the time ran out.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So in D4, are you open to cross-class skills?
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to the same topic that we just talked about of distinguishing each of the classes. And we do think some crossover, especially in the end game through legendary items, is a good thing. But too much is probably hurtful to the class identity, right? So we need to find the right balance of that. And yeah, I guess I can't say exactly how it's going to be. It's too early. But as we explore legendary items, it's something that we'll definitely keep an eye on.
When it comes to balancing drop rates, which game, be it a Diablo game, be it another, do you feel like best sort of represents the sort of drop rates you're going to be aiming for?
Oh, I see. So, so what we're doing in Diablo 4 is quite different from previous Diablo games because you can get more powerful versions of the same item as you play the game, even in the end game.
Okay.
Which means we don't have to increase the drop rate of legendaries, for example, right? So we can find that perfect and ideal kind of drop rate for the level of experience, and then maybe have a different one for the max level experience. And because the power grows too, we can keep to what that ideal is. But we don't know exactly what that number is yet, but through testing, we'll be able to figure that out, right? And through iteration. Yeah, so we'll see. And I am very worried and curious to see how this kind of major change plays out in Diablo 4.
Gotcha. I'm guessing for the demo, the drop rates are boosted?
Oh, for the demo, actually, the secret is legendary items are dropping at very specific places.
Oh,
interesting that you didn't notice, even though you played it.
Well, I noticed in the original dungeon, but I thought the others were random. Yeah.
No, right now it's it's secret, so don't tell anyone. But it's in the dungeon from the ghouls, and then the sea hag drops one, and then the world boss drops one, and that's it. No other place. Yeah, but obviously it's not going to be like that in the real game, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
How do you like the?
Oh, super cool.
Yeah. So this is like an example to show the quality of in-game cinematics, cutscenes that we're gonna do, and of course there's gonna be like action scenes too, things like that. So I'm very excited for that for the end result, right? Oh, and this area, everything you see, you can actually go there in Diablo 4, which is a huge change as well. So that's actually the town that you can walk into, and so on, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's something that's easy to miss, but I think it's one of the coolest things because anything you can see, you can actually go there, which is a huge improvement, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you got the lightning.
Yeah, that amulet.
Yeah.
So for the, oh geez, what was it gonna be? No, so we said no, charms are not currently in the works. Stash space. Oh yeah, so are we gonna have individual? So in D2 you had your individual stash tab and then the shared stash tab amongst your characters. In D3 you just have the shared stash tab. Any decisions being made there?
Oh, currently, because we have that very specific goal for trading, your stash tabs will, like how they function will depend heavily on what type of trading system we land on. Because what we want to avoid is a situation where you have to trade your item between your own characters. Like if you own the item, you should be able to use it on any class, any character of your choice, right? So currently, because the example of the trading that I said is that way, we have shared stash tabs to get around the trading for your own characters, so you can feed your alts and level that up quickly if you want to, and things like that, right? But if trading changes, that will change too.
Any thoughts to the role gold will play in either trading or in the game? Is there going to be a gold sink, or are we just going to, by the end game, have gold and gold's going to be irrelevant? Yeah,
so currently we're trying to be more strict with gold at a personal level for players. So the gambler, kind of like D2, how it works is you can spend gold to gamble. So it's going to be kind of like a improvement off of Geed and Kadala kind of thing, but he takes gold, right? So if you can kind of imagine, if I can gamble for the best items in the game, then gold will be meaningful at all times, right? So that's kind of our plan with gold and gold sinks.
Gotcha. Are zones level specific, or do they scale with player level?
Oh, so currently we're trying various versions. We do currently have level scaling in the game, but one of the main goals, so the reason why we have it is because we have that shared open world. We want players to play together, right? But the main thing, there's many things we want to avoid, but one of those things is we want to make sure that every time you equip and upgrade, it's always making you stronger and never weaker, never even against the monsters. So we want to make sure that your power progression is always felt, and at the same time we have level scaling so that you can play with anyone of your friends at any time, right?
Awesome.
Interesting that you asked that, because by playing the demo, there's no way to know. Yeah, right?
Well, I mean, we do see that like, this is a level whatever. So
yeah.
The dungeons seem to have the clear levels.
Yeah, so what we're currently playing around with is we do have level scaling, but it's not completely fixed level scaling. We do have some areas that are more difficult, that have like floors, I guess, right? So until you get to level 30, that area monsters are always level 30 kind of thing. And we also are exploring with ceilings as well to make stuff a little easier if necessary.
Are you familiar with Last Epoch? It's an RPG in alpha. It's going to be releasing, I think, April.
Not super familiar, but a couple of our system designers are playing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one main thing about that is that their skill system, it's sort of, it mixes D2 and D3 skill systems in that you have every skill similar. You know, you can level up every individual skill, but every skill has its own
skill tree.
With runes that sort of will change the way the skill.
I played a little bit of Lost Ark, and that game has something similar too. Yeah, which is very cool too, right? But I think at the core of it, the more important thing is how much choice and customization players have. And because we have the skill system as well as the talent system, we believe that's quite a bit more choice. But if we need more choices in the game, of course, we'll try to explore more systems during level up, right?
Any plans for more? So one thing I realize is you guys have never said anything. You never used the word, the three letters MMO. despite some of it like feels like MMO elements.
Yeah,
with
there are
regards to-
definitely some MMO elements, right? But it kind of goes back to what I was talking about. We want to take elements from different games that work really well for Diablo 4, but like saying like is this game like an MMO or not is very difficult because there are some cool things that will work really well in Diablo 4 out of those elements, and there are others that would make it so like if you ran into so many people as you're running around, that feels like an MMO, but I don't think that's correct for Diablo 4, right?
Okay.
So what we're trying to do is create a pure Diablo game at its core, but explore and try out different elements from different types of games, and if it works really well, keep it. If it doesn't, then don't keep it kind of mentality, right?
Gotcha. Is it possible to remove things from sockets, or will it be?
Oh yeah, of course.
At a cost, or just free unsocketing?
I want to say at a cost, but that could, of course, change.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we know about the, you can respec your talents. Is that free or at a cost?
Currently, the thought is that that one is free because, like, say, Diablo is all about the legendary items and that cool moment that it brings, right? So you're leveling up, legendary item drops, and it's like, oh, do I want to spend the gold to try this out, or can I just respec and try it out? I think the latter is much more Diablo, so that's the reason for that decision.
I noticed items don't have a durability, so
yeah.
Is that just a system you felt was redundant, didn't add anything?
So we want systems that take you back to town at specific intervals. So durability isn't cut. It's not in this build, and
Okay.
we're trying out both versions of it at different times. But yeah, what do you think about the durability?
So it depends on the implementation. So in D2, it mattered because of ethereal items. But outside of that, like in D3, it just
It's a
feels
gold
like
sink, right? Yeah.
it's a gold sync that matters early, and then it stops mattering. And
Yeah.
it's just a button to press,
Yeah.
and it doesn't really dig into your gold. So like in D3, if it didn't exist, it wouldn't bother me. 'Cause
Oh, I see.
But if
Yeah.
there's reason, like, you know, if there's some choices
Like if you
to be
got
made
like a
based
cool
on
bonus above a certain durability level or
yeah.
something like that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, it's something that we're
Deeper
talking
mechanics.
about. But
Cool.
yeah, we'll see, right? But it's great hearing your thoughts too. The Sea Hack Death is pretty crazy.
Yeah, this reminds me of Greed from D3, but like
Oh, yeah.
a much darker version.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And have you seen the have you noticed in the gameplay trailer that there's Duriel?
I did.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was like, was that Duriel?
Yeah.
Duriel was like the most
Yeah.
traumatizing experience for me in D2
Yeah.
the first time.
Yeah, right? And his skill that like pulls you into his stomach is pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. He's like a hydralisk who just never stopped lifting.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I think the encounter designers, one of their main goals for that is to kind of bring the feeling of kind of I feel kind of trapped in this place with this boss kind of thing, right? So hopefully, yeah, it's very it does Diablo 2 Duriel justice, right?
Yeah. So I know people keep asking about, you know, is the paladin, is the assassin going to come back? Obviously, you can't talk to that. We know that 3 of the classes have been revealed. We know there's going to be 2 others.
Yeah.
And presumably you're going to try to, well, I guess I'll ask, are they going to cover additional archetypes? Like Diablo 1 had, you know, the 3 archetypes of martial warrior, the ranged agile type, and the mage. Right now we're seeing the mage, the martial warrior, the druid.
Yeah.
So we're seeing the kind of bow or ranged you know, non-magic type not being covered. So people are speculating either Demon Hunter or Amazon.
Yeah.
Do you think it's possible that we're going to see entirely new classes?
Like covering the archetypes, I guess makes sense, but at the same time, it is the 4th game of the iteration, so we can break some rules too, right? So it's really impossible to say right now which are the last 2 classes. But I am personally curious what people want as the last classes as well. Like, do people prefer returning classes? Do people prefer brand new classes, and so on, right? So that'd be something. Yeah, that would be great to know. Yeah. And it's one of the advantages of announcing this game, so we can ask questions like these, right?
Seen a lot of Amazon, seen some monk, some paladin.
Yeah, necromancer.
If you were
Someone
to
said dwarf, I think. Yeah.
If you were to bring back a holy knight, do you think it would be in the form of the paladin or the crusader, or maybe even some new some new thing. Because the
Yeah,
Crusader
hard
was
to
sort of
say,
painted
yeah.
as it's like an elite paladin, like an uber paladin.
Yeah, yeah.
But in many ways, it was the paladin from
Yeah,
D2.
yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to say. But personally, I personally like the paladin a little bit better. But yeah, we don't know yet, right?
I guess it's a name that has a lot more history to it.
Yeah, right.
Like Crusader is a cool word and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah.
but like the paladin, you know,
Yeah.
everyone knows what a paladin is
Yeah, yeah.
from all the way back from Dungeons and Dragons to World of Warcraft, all the different fantasy
Yeah,
things
yeah.
have done paladin.
Yeah, but anything's possible, right? Like D3 at launch didn't have that plate class or whatever, right? So yeah, anything's possible, I think.
Do you think? Well, I guess if anything's possible, has any concept of a dark knight, like an evil type of paladin, been
I
tossed
see.
around? If you can talk to that.
Yeah, like there's just so many ideas. So of course, like we talked about that one too. But whether something's gonna make it or not, like we really don't know, right? We're focusing on these 3 classes first. So yeah. But it would be a good discussion, I think, for the community too, right? Yeah, what they would like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we know that there's no offline play, and presumably there's no ability to turn off the whole shared world thing. But we did hear that you could basically play the game solo. You don't have to interact. You're encouraged to, but you
Yeah.
don't have to interact with other players. Is the game more challenging if you play it solo? Is group play, so in D3, group play is far more efficient
Yeah.
than solo play?
Yeah, so I guess for the first part, just to be really specific, we're thinking right now that the campaign experience is completely private. So if you don't bring in someone within your party, it's going to be solo in those areas, right? And once you beat that, then it's going to turn into the shared open world part of it. Dungeons, of course, majority will be private, so you can play it that way. And like you were saying too, even in this shared area, you don't really run into other people too, right? So no one's really getting in your way kind of thing. And for your second part, we do want to make sure that group play versus solo play is as even as possible. But we all know that's not how game balance works, right? It's not going to be perfect. So we are going to try to err on the side of group play a little bit, because if not, then everyone's just going to play solo, and the shared open world is not going to be as cool, right?
Right.
So we're going to try our absolute best to make it as even as possible, but at the same time, if we can't hit that exact spot, then we're going to favor group play a little bit.
What sort of death penalties do we see in D4?
So right now it's very harsh. So when you die, you have to run back from the last checkpoint, right? And you drop like a gold pile, and you gotta go pick it up. It's something that we're also, there's very different opinions on this internally too. So we'll see how that goes.
I haven't died yet, so I'm gonna go try to die.
Yeah.
See it happen.
Yeah.
Class-specific items, like base item types. You want to see something like that?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Yeah, of course we'll have class-specific items and item types. Like for example, the Sorceress I think uses staves, offhands, and wands right now. The Barbarian obviously has access to the most item types, but does he really have to use staves or wands? Probably not. So yeah.
So we got our 5-minute warning. So our
Hopefully
last
yeah.
questions here. Let's see this.
Oh, I see.
This death mode. In PvP, are we gonna get to collect people's ears like in the D2 days?
Oh yeah, that would be fun, but yeah, we're not sure yet. But yeah, of course, it's something that we'll have to discuss before we ship the game, right? Yeah. So that was your last checkpoint, so you gotta run back all the way to your. Yeah.
I notice I'm bloody. That's a dynamic effect, right?
Yeah.
Is that from me taking damage or from me killing enemies?
Oh, I think it's both, because blood splashes when you. Yeah, and then so we talked about like potential cool ideas of like, as you get more and more soaked in blood, maybe you get some cool.
Oh,
yeah, right. It's like a
bloodied
legendary
effects.
item or something like that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that could be cool.
Yeah. But this game is very bloody, and Barbarian I think is the best example of getting like blood all over him.
The viscera,
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any potential to have UI customization? Like so in WoW you can customize your UI, but in D3 you can't at all. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, currently we are leaning towards the fixed route, but yeah. With that said, though, it is still only the first announcement. We don't even know when the game's gonna ship, so anything I would say is possible. And I'm pretty sure our UI lead UI designer is watching too, or she'll watch at some point too. So yeah, her team can talk about it.
Any potential for raid-like encounters? I know that the open world bosses are a little bit like that, but any like mega dungeons where you can bring your whole clan or something like that?
So we want to make sure that we stick true to that Diablo experience, and I think one of the main distinguishing factors of Diablo is that you can play the game solo no matter what stage you're at, right? So we want to make sure that all rewards and all powerful items that you're gaining are not gated by multiplayer content. But with that said, of course, like because we have things like the world boss, I can kind of easily imagine what if there was a more difficult version of it where you do have to go in and play with an arranged party or something like that, right? So it's also something that we're discussing. Yeah, and we'd love to hear your thoughts as well, right?
All right. Any final comments? Anything else you'd like to share?
Oh, I probably missed a lot of the stuff. So if people check out the systems panel tomorrow, it's not going to be as in-depth. So I recommend, like, if your viewers are interested, check out all the details of every single skill on every single class, every single talent, all this stuff, right? But the systems panel will be a good kind of high-level overview of everything that we're currently doing. So that would be good to check out.
Awesome.
Yeah.
David Kim, lead system designer on D4. And so that's about our time. So we're going to thank everyone for watching. Stay tuned for videos. I'm going to probably put this up on YouTube as well at some point, but I'm going to try to get a video up within the next hour or so on my initial thoughts on D4. There's going to be more panels tomorrow. We're going to cover those. More YouTube content and coverage coming. We might even do a stream tomorrow night just from the hotel room if we can get good enough internet to just talk about everything. Thanks so much. It's
Thank you
great
so
to
much
meet
for
you.
having me. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Excellent answers.
Yeah.
Tons of useful, wonderful info.
Yeah, and if there's
So
anything
psyched.
that people don't like, please let us know, because we do have a long ways to go, right?
What's the best way to get information to you guys?
Oh, I think you have your contacts at Blizzard, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be the best. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
And we'll see you next time, folks. Bye.